I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs, here every day to help you decide what to do for dinner. Today, we take another trip down mealtime memory lane as we go global and take you around the world in 80 dinners. A cook's tour of dishes from destinations including India, Italy, and even Ireland. Here on Dinner DeeAs, we've shared recipes from chefs and cuisines far and wide. And for the next half hour, we're revisiting some of our favorite foods from foreign lands as we take a quick trip around the world in 80 dinners. Disclaimer, we might not fit 80 dinners into one show, but here's hoping. First up, we take a trip to the Philippines. Chef Veronica Menezes joined us from Tampa restaurant Manila Eats to share a traditional recipe for pancit bihon.
The pancit bihon is actually one of the celebrated dish in the Philippines, not only because it's being served for birthdays, holidays, and every other occasions, even reunion, and even a special day. First, we're going to boil our meat.
Okay. You gotta boil the meat.
So when you saute it, it's easier to cook.
Okay.
So we add a little salt for the flavor.
Okay.
So we do cook and boil the chicken and the pork.
Okay. And what type of cuts of the chicken are we using?
A lot of people prefer the thigh.
Okay.
Because it's a dark meat and it's much more, it gives more flavor.
Okay.
The cut up pork, usually what we use is the pork butter.
Okay.
It comes with a little more meat and fat.
Okay.
And then we're going to start sauteing.
Okay.
First thing we're going to do is saute the garlic.
Okay.
Using our spatula, which is for us, we call it sando.
Just a little spoon here. Just for, just a little bit of garlic,
And then onion.
Oh, but it smells so good with that too. Oh, look.
Look at that.
I mean, this is ingredients. I'm looking over here and I'm looking at everything. This is stuff that people already have at the house. Okay. Now.
And then we add the chicken and the pork.
And this is the chicken and pork that we've cooked already? Okay. And you just shredded this?
Yes.
Am I going all in?
If you like.
We'll go a little bit more. How about that then?
Okay.
We'll go just that much more there. Okay.
And pork.
And then the pork. Okay.
So we cook it for about...
Now, is this like a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes chicken to pork? Is it?
Well, it depends on the people, how they like to eat.
Okay.
Some people, they love chicken.
All right, so which one do you love more? Now that we're kind of like just breaking the ice. You more chicken, you more pork?
Chicken.
Chicken? All right, so then I won't go for that extra scoop of pork.
Okay.
Then. We got the chicken on the front end. All right. All right. And then just bring this like a nice little toss?
Yes.
Give it a nice coating of that oil. Okay.
So you're cooking like a Filipino.
I love that. What's next then?
Next one, we're going now to drop all the veggies.
All the
we're doing
veggies.
The stir frying.
Okay, all right.
So you can add now the carrots.
Okay. You tell me when. Is that good?
Yep.
Okay.
Snow peas.
Oh, love it.
And then mix it up a bit, and then we'll add the other two after that. We're going to drop the cabbage.
Okay. Is that a good melt?
Yep.
Okay.
Good enough. And the celery.
Okay. Love it. Very good. And what are we looking for in terms of like all of the textures? What are we looking for in terms of color?
It just have to be mixed up all together, and all the flavors all get mixed in.
Okay. Now, is there anything else that has to go in here? Any soy?
We can add a little soy sauce.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So pancit is considered to be almost like the pasta for this from the Italians. And then bihon is the type of noodles. So
How many should I put in?
You can put another one.
Another one? Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's it.
And now,
And then let it simmer.
are these easy to find in the store?
They're everywhere now, even in Publix you can even find. It's exactly almost like a pasta. So we're going to plate it. A little more. And then we're going to add the veggies.
Okay.
Voila.
That's it.
Yes.
Simple. I love it.
Thank you.
I
And you can also add lemon
Okay.
as a citrus on the side, so it actually gives a little more flavor.
Oh, wow. It has absorbed everything. All of the liquid was gone because it's all gone into our noodle here. I love that. And then you have all these beautiful, beautiful proteins. What do you think? You're not even eating right now. Like, this is
I'm so excited.
the best thing about food. It is that celebration. But this was a dish that you were cooking with your elders.
Since I was 9,
9 years old, and it still hasn't gotten old.
hasn't gotten old. In fact, my friends in San Francisco are so jealous right now because I've been cooking this pancit since I migrated in the 90s, and they always say my pancit tastes exactly the same.
It's been
From the
consistent.
day, yeah, it's been consistent.
I love that. Grab the recipe for Chef Veronica's pancit bihon and watch the full episode at dinnerdeals.com, where we also have how to make a Philippine adobo using the always amusing ingredient, pork butt. No giggling out the back. So one dinner down, only 79 more to go as we head around the world in 80 dinners. When we come back, we stay in Asia but hop over to India for a chicken dish described as wildly luxurious. Ahead on Dinner Deals. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. We're digging through the Dinner Diaz recipe box to search out our favorite dinner ideas from across the globe as we take a quick trip around the world in 80 dinners. And I'll be honest, not sure how we're going to get all the way to 80 before the end of the show, given we've only done one so far. Anyways, dinner destination number 2 today is India. And not every dish from there has to be spicy. Chef Inder Suryawanshi is the executive chef for the JW Marriott over on Clearwater Beach, and he shared a dinner idea direct from Delhi.
I grew up eating this every other day. My mom's cooked one of the best recipe in butter chicken. So every other day I used to sit down with my mom, eat the dish, and I wanted to feature that dish in here. So there's a little bit tweak of the butter chicken, but it's amazing.
Okay. So all that we have right now is just some sour cream, just a little bit of some lemon juice, and then the ginger garlic paste.
Ginger garlic paste, and this is the turmeric. You can get in any of the market here. And red chili powder. This is the ingredient. It makes it like a little bit hotter.
Okay.
If you want a little bit milder, you can utilize, like, instead of full teaspoon, you can use a half teaspoon.
Okay, so you can customize. So you can
Yes.
go a little bit less, you can go a little bit more. So this is up to you folks at home, how hot you want it to be.
And then this is the garam masala. Garam masala is basically mixture of the different Indian spices, which is cumin, coriander, cloves, and cinnamon.
Okay. It's so fragrant too.
Yep.
It's one of my favorites.
And then this is a little bit of salt. And you just mix it together.
So let's start the sauce.
So first of all, we're gonna add a little bit of oil. You can add a butter. Add this onion. Next, again, we're gonna add ginger garlic paste.
Okay.
This enhance your flavors. Like we add 2 tablespoons there, and just mix it really good while it's cooking. This is Roma tomatoes. We chopped it, pureed it, and we're gonna add it.
Very
so
nice.
that's the most important ingredients in the butter chicken. It's tomato puree and the butter. So next we're gonna add all those good spices in there. So first we're gonna add, this is
And we already started by taking the chicken, already sauteing it.
Sauteing it, it will take like 5 to 10 minutes. We don't want it to overcook it because we're gonna cook it inside the gravy later on.
Yeah.
So we cook it about like 20 to 30% and then keep it for the rest, and then we add it in our sauce. So next we're gonna add the cumin powder. Coriander powder.
Now, are these ingredients very easy to find in a local grocery store?
You can get it any of the local grocery stores like a Publix, Walmart, any
Okay.
Grocery stores you can find. Turmeric. This is the main ingredient, red chili powder. You can, I like spicy, so I added a little bit extra. I'm sure, Jeff, you like it
I'm
too.
ready for it. Bring it on, my friend.
right.
But for those at home, if you wanted to, this is where you can control that spice level of the dish, right?
Yes.
Now, I got to ask you then, for a mild version of this dish, can you just omit it entirely, or do you really need it? Because otherwise, it would just be really bland.
You really need a little bit of that heat in there, so it keeps that Indian flavors in there.
Okay.
But again, if we can even mild it down, so with the
So just a little bit, just a little bit at a time,
and this is garam masala, which is a blend of the different whole spices.
Okay.
And then this is the cashew paste. It's made out of the cashews. Cashews, we can soak it in the water overnight, or we can just boil the cashews and blend it together.
Okay.
This will give you that richness of the butter chicken.
Love it. And this is something that you would have to make.
Yes.
This is not one that you would have to find at the store. Okay.
Mix it together.
Now, how long does this need to cook for? What are we looking for?
So the chicken we cooked already for 20-30%. So we need to add, once we add the chicken, it takes at least 12 to 15 minutes to fully cooked, and then maybe like 2 to 3 minutes to rest, and it will be ready to go. And next we're gonna add the finishing touch, which is the cream in this butter chicken. Look at that, it's a nice and beautiful color.
Absolutely. Absolutely looks beautiful. Now, while you kind of get all that cream in there, I got to go in for a taste test because this has been staring at me all episode here.
And this is the magic ingredient. It's called fenugreek.
Now, where would you find fenugreek?
So fenugreek you can find in any Indian store, or you can find in a bigger store, which is like a Walmart. So this is basically made out of fenugreek leaves. So they're dried out and it becomes like this. So
What is the taste then of it? What should you be tasting for?
so this is, it's a little bit bitter, but once you add it in any of the sauce, it gives you that aroma of the fenugreek. So we just crushed a little bit on the top of that.
Whoa. It's absolutely perfect. It's moist. It's tender. It's taken all the flavors of the marinade, but it's playing so well on this. Like, I just really want to like take all the naan right now and just start scraping the plate and just start living in all of this, because this is literally a dream come true, because you came back and you did this. This is one of my favorite dishes, and I can't thank you enough for being here. Find the full episode with Chef Ender at our website, dinnerdeas.com, which is also where you can grab the recipe with all the amounts, the ingredients, and the directions. When we come back, we're heading 5,000 miles west to take a tasty trip to the Emerald Isle, ahead on Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner Diaz. You're invited to take a trip with us today and become a global gourmet as we share some of our favorite recipes from all corners of the compass and go around the world in 80 dinners. Now, that number might be a slight exaggeration since we've only done 2 and the show's halfway done. Before the break, we went across Asia, but now we're in Europe. Ireland, to be precise, as Chef Susan Burdian shares a recipe direct from Dublin with some familiar flavors.
We've got our bacon done, we've got our smashed potatoes done and nice golden crispy. We're just going to get some nice color on the bangers. We will start sauteing our onions. We will add our minced garlic. And the thing we're going to go next with is the Guinness.
Now, how much are you adding?
About a half a bottle.
Half a bottle.
Yeah.
All right.
Rest for you.
I mean, why not?
When in Rome.
Or when in Dublin.
We'll start with a layer in the bottom of the pot of our potatoes. That's going to be the base.
Now, is there a method to the madness here of where it should be inside our Dutch oven here? Or?
Not really, no. Just try to, cover, as much area as you can.
Okay.
But just use 50-50 of everything, okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to go with some onions.
All right. And this is all in the same pan that we used before?
All in the same pot.
I mean,
yes.
this is
so less
very,
work cleaning
very
up.
simple then.
Absolutely, yes. It's supposed to be a very simple dish. We'll put half of our Irish bacon, our rashers. We'll get some herbs.
Okay.
This is some fresh parsley and some thyme.
Lovely.
And then we're gonna put a little barley in there.
The barley, what does the barley do for this dish?
It just gives some texture and a little protein.
Okay. How accessible is
We need more
barley, to everyone? Where'd you find the barley at?
Oh, you can find barley at almost any grocery store. Yeah, you can find barley at almost any grocery store.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. In the grains aisle, right? So then we're gonna start again. We're saving our bangers for last.
Okay, so that's going to be the whole top. This is going to be
Exactly.
everything to get us there.
Yes. And now in with some chicken stock. 2 or 3 cups ought to do it. Not all the way up, maybe about halfway up.
About halfway up. So this, it's almost like this is really not a stew.
It's not a stew. A stew, it has more liquid and it's going to cook for 3 hours, sometimes more, depending on what kind of meat you do.
Sure.
This is going to go in the oven for about 45 minutes and is going to be less liquid.
Okay.
It's going to be more about the solids.
So it's a quick dinner. All right, so we've got our liquid, we've got our sausage
Yes.
topped over here.
The last steps basically are to bring the liquid to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, we're going to put the lid on, it goes in the oven. I think the perfect bite is a little potato, some caramelized onion, and the banger.
Okay, all right. This isn't your first rodeo before.
No, definitely not.
Okay. Oh, I got a little bit of the egg too there.
Yes, a little of that egg yolk on it kind of seals the deal.
Now, what should I be tasting for?
Oh, smokiness from the rashers, the beer, the barley, kind of.
Oh, wow. Sometimes when you have a simple dish, you don't get flavor, right? Totally not the case with this.
No, it's big flavor.
There's so much flavor. And I mean, there's so little to it that it's so easy to make that you just get to enjoy the ingredients for what they are. And
Yeah.
they've taken on so much of that beautiful layering of flavor.
Yeah. Well, just a little bit of work in treating each ingredient right before you put it all together makes a big difference.
Fried potatoes, sausage, and bacon. What's not to love? Find Chef Susan's recipe for her Dublin coddle and watch the full episode at dinnerDeas.com. When we come back, we're staying in Europe, so why not join us as we take a Roman holiday as our tantalizing taste tour continues ahead on Dinner Dias. Welcome back to Dinner Dias. We're rating our recipe box for some of our favorite ideas for dinner from all over the globe as we go around the world in 80 dinners. And full disclosure, I think we're not going to make it to 80. More like 4, but that's not too shabby. Before the break, we went from Asia to Europe and we're finishing up in the home of great food, Italy. Chef Alessandro Toia joined us to share the recipe that started his culinary journey, porchetta, with techniques that date back 2,000 years.
Okay, so we have like a big piece of pork belly, and then we have a pork loin. We start with putting some salt on it, ground black pepper.
Nice.
Porchetta is very, as I told you before, it's very old recipe. It dates back before the Roman Empire, and it was, the legend says, it was invented by Aeneas, that during his flight from Troy, once he arrived to the Italian shores, he made his first porchetta out of the wild boar in the nearby wood of Artemis, the goddess of hunting.
And this is just dried garlic here?
Yeah, just dried garlic. Now, what we have to do now is we grab the pork belly, we put it in the middle, and then we start to tie it up. Next thing, you have to make holes on the skin
Okay.
because you want the fat, all the fat in the to drip off the porchetta.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not gonna be good. You don't
And this
want
is
it-
going to go straight onto the oven rack?
Correct.
All right. Perfect. All right. And that has at least equal distribution, so that way then those fat drippings are now going to go into that water, so that way then it's not going to smoke up the house.
Correct.
Fantastic.
That's the thing.
Quiet. Come on now. That crunch, that little bit right there, is absolutely out of this world fantastic.
That's the food of the Roman emperors.
And that was the food of the emperors, and we're over here enjoying it.
Yep.
How cool is that? Find the full episode with all of Chef Alessandro's Roman recipes at dinnerdias.com, including soupli, risotto, but with fried up as croquettes. No matter what country you're cooking cuisine from, we want to see how it turns out. Send us a photo on Facebook. We're at Dinner Dias. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time with more Dinner Dias.